get us started. All right, welcome everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all here to the top three mistakes new coaches make. Let's just see here. That new coaches make that keep them from even starting, and I'm going to be sharing with you what to do instead. So I had thought about doing a slide presentation for y'all, but I decided that it would be more fun just to talk to you, let you know that I'm a real person, let you see my face. I love video. For any of you that have been following me, I do a video blog every Saturday, and I encourage all my clients to do video as well. Some of them are not so excited about it at first, but it's definitely something to get used to and get used to seeing yourself on film, because it doesn't always look like we think it does. So anyways, just wanted to let you know that we're using this Zoom technology, which is a super awesome program. And that's one of the things I really like sharing with my clients and on these calls is what are the programs and what are the systems and structures that I use that help me in my business. And Zoom is one of them. And that's also the technology that I'm going to be using in my upcoming group program that I'm going to tell you all about in a little bit. So just to let you know, you're in the right place today if you are ready to start your thriving freedom-based coaching business. You're also in the right place if you've already launched your coaching business and you're ready to up-level it and really start making the income and impact that you desire. You're in the right place if you want to compress the timeline to your success. So instead of it taking years, maybe it only takes months. And you're in the right place if you want to feel confident and that you have direction in your business. And then at last but not least, you're in the right place if you are a super cool, heart-centered woman, because those are the type of women that I love working with and that I love having in my programs, because it's great to make a lot of money and it's great to make a big impact. And I really want to make sure that I am helping and supporting those women that want both. We want to do really good things with our money. And I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday about that, specifically, a lot of women that I work with are spiritual, they're Christians, they do ministry work, missionary work, they give, they tithe. One of the awesome ladies on this call right now runs a nonprofit that I'm going to be getting much more involved with here in the Austin area. And those are the women that I love to work with. Those are the women that this world needs more of. And that's what lights me up, because money is just a tool. Money is just a vehicle to get more of whatever you want, and it makes you more of whatever you are. So I am sure that you are one of these absolutely fantastic ladies on the call today. And so today, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 mistakes that most new coaches make. I'm going to be sharing with you tips and giving you some support so that you either don't make them or you stop making them. And then, like I mentioned, I'm super excited because I'm going to be unveiling my very first group program. And it's called the Elite Coaching Crash Course. And I'm super excited because I designed it specifically for you, specifically for those type of women that I just explained. So I know if you're here, you were one of the ones I had in mind. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing some suggestions and tips for you. So I hope that you have a pen and piece of paper. I'm also going to be walking you through a couple exercises that you'll want to write down. And again, don't worry. I will be sending out a recording of this. If you miss any part of it, you can always go back. And hopefully you have some water or some hot tea. I just made myself a cup of caramel chai tea. So you're going to be seeing me sip on that as we talk, because my throat gets a little dry as I do all the talking up here. So for those of you that don't know me, I want to just tell you really briefly, because I want to get to the meat of the content today, but just really briefly who I am. And of course, you can always feel free to pop on over to my website, which is carrieshepard.com. So like I've mentioned, I'm a Texas girl. I wasn't born here, but I definitely got here just as fast as I could. Family, and if those of you that are friends with me on Facebook know my family and my dog Zeus are super important to me. My connection and spirituality with God is definitely at the foremost and center of everything that I do. and chocolate. I love some chocolate, some chai tea, and obviously I love coaching and entrepreneurship. So those are really the things that fuel me and fuel my success. And I've always really been that visionary entrepreneur. I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. I was raised by a father that was an entrepreneur, so I'm sure that helped. And my mom, very much a visionary. She wasn't an entrepreneur. She was a nurse for 18 years, but definitely always had that support in everything that I wanted to do. And, I was the little girl that had the lemonade stands, and I apparently was a savvy entrepreneur at that time because I also had add-ons with cookies and candy. So definitely that. And then, went on to do Girl Scout cookies and was the top seller in that. And then in junior high, I actually had a real legit babysitting business. I went and got a certification and had business cards and flyers, which I even have one. I'll have to pull one out someday because it's hilarious. Showing my age here. It was written on one of the word processors, it's all dotted and purple paper, of course, purple. Had my branding down back then even. And so I definitely knew being an entrepreneur was in my future. And after I got out of college, I went on to work with my family, and we created 5 multi-million-dollar businesses, and they were all from scratch. And I really learned the ins and outs of what it takes to run a successful business. The business structures, the business systems, sales, marketing, all that kind of stuff. But in early 2010, I started feeling this kind of dissatisfaction, this craving for something more, for something bigger. I knew that the business that we were in was not going to be my future. And so I started the search. And just to make a long story short, I had a little stint in network marketing. So I've got a background in network marketing. But once I found the coaching business, I really knew that was it. And in 2013, I finally made the leap. We sold our business and I launched my coaching business. And, it was interesting because even with all of my business background, with all my entrepreneurial know-how, it was still a new world to me. This online marketing and coaching, it was just new and it was different. And I knew that I was going to have to do some work. And so I pretty much took a big, deep breath and I took the leap. Don't be scared when I tell you this number because you don't have to do this, but I invested $30,000 into coaches and mentors and programs, and I invested time because I really wanted to master this business. And I knew it was really important for me to invest because I knew that was what I was going to want, that I wanted to be able to teach my clients. And so I wanted to be the best at it. And so this investment of time and money really helped me lay the foundation of my business. And I learned a ton of valuable lessons, not only about starting an online business, but, what are the marketing mistakes? What are the mistakes that I was making? The coaching skills, I knew sales, but doing it in this arena was even a little bit different for me. And so just really getting schooled on all those pieces. And so now, it's really my mission to help other women create their own successful coaching business. And it's really important to me to help them do this and experience the same success that I've had, but to do it with far less time and far less money. And so, I really feel blessed that I was able to invest the time and the money into it. And now I want to, give my gift back out to the world. And, I love doing free calls like this because I think it's great, regardless if we ever work together or not, hopefully you are going to walk away from this call with some great information. And hopefully I've made a difference for you because that's what's really important to me. And now I'm so blessed to be able to be doing exactly what I believe I was born to do. And I feel like everything that's led up to this point in my life has made me stronger. Every obstacle, every challenge, every business has brought those skills and talents to the table to be able to share that with other women. So I'm super passionate about that. I could talk on and on about that, but I know that you came to this call because you're ready to get some value. So I hope you're ready. We're going to have fun today because I have these 3 mistakes that most new coaches make that stop them from even getting started. And even once they get started, these are mistakes that you might be making if you are a coach already. You might already have your coaching business up and running. And to be honest with you, these are mistakes that I still make to this day. I'm not here to say that I'm perfect and I don't make any of these mistakes. And even one of the mistakes talks about that. So let's jump in. Let me take a sip of my tea. And for those of you that have jumped on, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box. And again, ask any questions in there. I'll be taking questions at the end of the call. And I see a couple of y'all are on the phone line. And unfortunately from the phone, you won't be able to ask any questions. So if you can, hop on over to the link. All right. I don't think you should be able to ask questions, but now I'm thinking I could unmute your line. So I might be incorrect about that, ladies. All right. Mistake number 1 is called the warrior syndrome. So you probably don't know what that is, and that's because I made it up. And the warrior syndrome is really something that a lot of new coaches make. Somebody that's really starting their business. And what this syndrome is it's when a woman goes to battle. Think about like going in to go for a fight. And she's checking her surroundings and she's checking her opposition. And, she's getting into that mindset of going to war and going to fight. And this is the same mindset that, it might sound kind of dramatic, like what new coach would be thinking that, but by looking at everybody else and by looking at what everybody else is doing, you're taking the focus off yourself and you're treating going into business like you would going into war. And we put up this armor and we put up these shields, and it allows us, or it prevents us from really being our most authentic self. It prevents us from really digging into our why, digging into what we're meant to do in this world. And instead, we're looking at what everybody else is doing, and we start getting into this comparison mode. And that can really bring you down, especially when you see people online. I made 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. A friend of mine is about to make 6 figures this month, or last month. She made like $96,000 in March. That's crazy. When you start to look at that, it can make you so scared that you don't even want to start. And so again, I call this the warrior mindset. And it's so important to understand this because you could be in this and not even know it. And that could be a possibility of why you haven't even started, or why you are not in the place that you want to be, why you're not seeing the success that you so desire. And so instead of wasting all these hours looking at other coaches and websites and sales pages and Facebook pages and listening to endless training calls. Now, obviously, I'm super happy that you're on this call, and hopefully, you pick and choose which calls you're going to listen to that are going to be really high value for you. And, downloading every opt-in and every ebook, and you know what I mean. I was there too. Like I said, I've made all these mistakes, and I don't want you to make them. And or if you are making them, it's time to check yourself before you wreck yourself type thing. So, it's not necessary to be looking at every other coach in the industry. And that's why, I think it's really important to be working with a coach or a mentor, or to be in a group of like-minded women that are able to support you and to steer you in the right direction. Because sometimes we don't even know when we're going off course. We may be thinking we're going in the right direction, but we've totally missed the mark. We're not going towards our goals. We're not going towards our big vision. And sometimes it just takes somebody to snap you back in and get you back on the right direction. So get out of that warrior mindset. And, you might be asking yourself, okay, great, Carrie, I know about it now. I know what not to do, but how do I prevent myself from getting into that space? And so, here's a couple things that you can do. For me, I had opted into quite a few people's emails, and some of them I really wanted to be listening to, reading, but setting a rule on your email box. So all of your opt-in emails go into one folder, and then you maybe set time aside once a week, or, a couple times a week, where you go into the box and you read them. So you have a small amount of time to really be reading. One of the programs that I suggest is Unroll. And if you haven't heard of Unroll, that's basically, it does it for you. And so You can sign up, it's totally free. And basically it rolls up all the emails that you don't necessarily need to be clogging up your email box. And you can just go into Unroll, again, once a day, a couple times a week, something like that. And you can also unsubscribe from emails very easily there. So I suggest looking into Unroll, having some sort of an autoresponder on your emails so that people aren't expecting you to respond right away. That's going to help you with time management, and expectations, which can also be part of the warrior syndrome. And then Facebook. Facebook is such the place where we can go on and we can start feeling really crappy about ourselves. We start getting into that comparison mode. We start looking at what other people are doing. And the reality of it is people are going to show you and tell you what they want you to see. They're not going to share with you the struggles. They're not going to share with you the real behind the scenes. And that's something I really take a stand for, because I think it's really important that we do share those. And I'm really transparent about what's worked and what hasn't in my business. And, my clients can ask me anything and I will be 100% honest about what's working, what mistakes I made, because I want to try to prevent them from having those. And so with Facebook, again, set time aside, a couple times a day to get on Facebook. Facebook is an amazing business tool. I've built my business primarily on Facebook. But I also know if I'm in creation mode, or if I'm talking to clients, or I'm trying to do things, it's also the biggest time suck and such a distractor. So limit that, really be cognizant of that, I guess I'd like to say. So here's a little exercise that you can do now, or you can do after we get off the call, but is take a piece of paper and write down all the hours in the day. And then next to that, write down what your plans are. Plan on what you're doing, whether it's going to pick up the kids, making dinner, working on your business, doing laundry, business and personal. Put everything down on a piece of paper. Say you could do this for tomorrow. And then throughout the day, really track what you do each hour. And be really mindful of tracking everything, because you could, I teach, kind of working in batches, working in quadrants. So I'll spend 2 hours working on marketing. But if I get a Facebook message or I get an email, it may take me off of that. And so do I really end up spending 2 hours on marketing, or did I spend really an hour on marketing and I ended up spending an hour on emails and Facebook? And so it just gives you a really clear picture of how you're using your time, and, really see where that warrior syndrome is coming in. If people are distracting you and you're, kind of your eyes are on everybody else. So I think that's a really good exercise to do, and even do it for a couple days, because every day might be just a little bit different. And just really start thinking about how that's showing up in your life. And again, like I said, I've really found, being in a group of like-minded women is so helpful in getting out of and staying out of this warrior syndrome. And so again, that's why I've created this group program, the Elite Coaching Crash Course, where you're going to be able to surround yourself with like-minded women, not only in our group coaching calls, but also in a private Facebook forum, which, is amazing, because again, on Facebook, we can a lot of times only see one side of what's happening with people's businesses. And I think it's really important to have that safe forum where you can really share and connect. So that is mistake number one, the warrior syndrome. Mistake number two could possibly be my favorite one, because it makes me chuckle every time I hear it. It's called poly-perfect pants. So you can probably guess what poly-perfect pants is just by saying it, and you're probably going to hear me or see me smile every time I say it. But this is exactly what it sounds like. It's that new coach that is so excited about, making a big splash in the world, wants to be super successful and has big visions, but she's letting her fears and her worries about being perfect stop her from starting. She feels like she has to have everything in order. She feels like she has to have everything planned out. The perfect website, the perfect tagline, the logo, the business cards, whatever it is, she feels like she has to have all that in place, and then she can make her entrance into the world. And one of the ones I hear a lot is feeling like that this new coach needs to have a certification. And I don't think there's anything wrong with certification. I myself got a certification. I think it's fantastic. If that's something you're interested in, I'm happy to make some suggestions, but it's not necessary to get started. It's crazy to think about, had I not started my business until I got certified, how many clients I would have missed out on, how many lives I would have missed out on changing. And to be frank with you, how much money I would have left on the table waiting for everything to be perfect. Action is where you're going to get clarity. That's where you're going to figure out what is your niche and who is it that you're meant to serve, and the perfect package, which doesn't exist. Perfection doesn't exist. But, when I first started my business, I started out as a sales coach. That was my background, and I thought that's where I wanted to be specifically coaching. But it wasn't until I started coaching that I realized that there was so much more that I wanted to help women entrepreneurs with. And it wasn't just about sales. It had to do with the marketing and the list building and, building the foundational pieces. And I gave myself permission to change because I wasn't in that Polly Perfect Pants mentality. I wasn't like, well, I started this way and I've got to keep going and I can't change, or, whatever craziness would or could have been running through my mindset. I knew that I'm going to ebb and flow as my business continues to grow, and it's never going to be done. I'm a work in progress, just like my business is. I'm never going to be done until, the day that I die. I'm always going to be growing. I'm always going to be learning. And as I grow and learn, my business will be a reflection of that. As I continue to up level, as I continue to, take new classes and work with different mentors and whatever the case may be, it's going to flow into my business the same that it will for you. So as you continue to up level and read and get mentorship, your business is going to ebb and flow like that. So, it's really important to understand that you could be caught in this Polly Perfect Pants for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I mean, you could never get started if you're waiting for perfection. My mentor always says done is better than perfect. And I absolutely subscribe to this. I have a sticky note with it on my computer, and I feel like I should get it tattooed on my wrist, but that would be kind of weird. But, it's like, for instance, this course that I'm launching today, it's probably not perfect. I mean, don't go looking, but there's probably, there could be a mistake on the sales page, or, the orientation packet might have a mistake in it. But you know what? I just know that the people that are meant to be in that program, they are ready now. They are ready to get started now. And by me tweaking and making everything more beautiful and more perfect, it's just not going to change things. And so it's like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's hit it. And those are the type of people I want to work with as well. I want to work with the go-getters. I want to work with the change makers. And I'm sorry, but we're too busy making things happen to make things perfect. And so once you get over that, it's like so freeing. When you're able to say to the world, like, look, I'm not perfect, but get over it, deal with it. It just changes. It changes so much because you're not having to worry about what everybody else thinks. You're really just focused on the people that you're meant to serve and the people that you, the lives that are waiting for you to show up for, because that's what I really think. It's like, okay, well, if I wait, what's going to happen to those women that need me? They're going to have to wait as well. And so it's a trickle down effect, right? It's not just you waiting. It's those ideal clients that are waiting for you to show up. And so, I'd love for you to take that piece of paper that you have, and let's just do just a real quick journaling exercise. Better to do it now than wait till later. But take a look at your life and your business, or your potential business. And where have you let the Polly Perfect Pants syndrome stop you? Maybe think about three ways. What are you stopping yourself from doing because you think everything has to be perfect? So think about those 3 things and write them down. If you're really brave, you can also feel free to share them in the chat box. For you, maybe it's not offering coaching calls. Maybe for you, it's not launching because you feel like you have to have the perfect website, or you feel like you have to have all the perfect systems and structures in place, or you have to master sales before you can even have a sales conversation. What's stopping you from living your most ideal life, from living that, adventurous, soul fulfilling, thriving life. So you may want to take some time after the call, or maybe when you're journaling next time, and just think about those things. What areas in your life is this Polly Perfect Pants setting in? Is it stopping you from doing something really fantastic? And maybe it's not even just about your coaching business, and something else in life. Is there something that you've always wanted to do, but you feel like you have to be the perfect weight, or you have to be making a certain amount of money before you can do it, or you have to have a certain car, or whatever the case may be. All these crazy, crazy things we tell ourselves that we have to have before we can do something. Really take a stand for women, getting out in a big, bold way and not letting their fears stop them. So this is one of those ways, being in Polly Perfect Pants, that we can let our fears stop us. So, again, really serious action takers don't let their fear hold them back. It's not to say that we don't have fear, because we all have fear. I mean, it's going to be impossible to be fearless, but if we can really identify the fear and switch it around and then use it for fuel, use it to fuel us to get to the next level. And that's why, again, I'm so super excited about working with the, small group. It's going to be an intimate group of women that are really ready to step up and make their coaching business a reality, to make their coaching business successful. And that's why I'm really excited about working with them for the next 6 weeks, because those are the women that I know are going to make, a really big difference in the world. So Brandy says, you are perfectly describing me. Too much focus on my website, social media, business cards, blah, blah, blah. That's awesome, Brandy. Realizing that is such a perfect step. Like, knowing that that's where you're at is amazing, because now you know what you need to get over to get started. So I'm sure there's others on the line that are feeling the same way and just might be a little too shy to admit to it. But we all have Polly Perfect Pants syndrome somewhere in our life and business. And so let's get over it, ladies. Let's be okay with not being perfect. Let's get out there and let's make awesome things happen. So that's mistake number 2. And then our third and final mistake is called the coin toss mindset. And this is when you're running a business. There's 2 sides of the coin. You can think about the business mindset, which is, your systems, your structures, your marketing plan, sales, time management, organization, kind of all those, what is that, the right brain or left brain, whatever, all that kind of stuff. So then you have the creative mindset, and that's more the mindset of what it sounds like, the creation and the brainstorming new ideas and creating a website and getting the logo and being really artsy, all this kind of stuff, right? So you have both sides of those, and we need both sides. But so many women are on one side of the coin and don't have the other side of the coin. And so it's kind of like you take a coin, you flip it up in the air, and whatever side it lands on is fine. But it's really, we need to hold that coin up, and we need to have both sides of it. We need to have both sides of creation and the more masculine systems and structures. And so, a lot of new coaches really, it's like they want to stick with whatever they're good at. So you may be more of the business mindset, or you might be more of the creative mindset, but most likely whichever one is your strong suit is the one that you want to be hanging out in. That's the place you feel safe and you feel secure, and you're probably getting things done. So, my challenge to you is really to look at both sides of the coin and figure out what it's costing you to only be, in that coin toss mentality by only focusing on one side of the coin, because you're missing out on so much in your business, and you're missing out on so much success because of it. So again, if you're only spending you're spending time in only one area of your business, say the planning and the preparation phase, kind of like we talked about in Polly Perfect Pants, this is costing you because you're such in that creation, like planning your program and planning your tagline and all this kind of stuff, that if you don't put the systems and structures into place, it's never going to get out into the world, right? So if you don't ever learn how to market your business, if you don't ever learn how to do list building and build a following, you're never going to have both sides of the coin, which equals success. You have to have both sides of that to really be successful. Oh, Tammy says, my Polly Perfect pants won't change for coaching until I have a program plan completed. So Tammy thinks she needs to have her program all sorted out before she can start, which could possibly be true, but it just is that it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, everything doesn't have to be perfect. But going back to the coin toss mindset, you know, it's time to really look and step up to be a successful business owner, because a successful business owner looks at all areas in their business. You know, they're not afraid to look at sales. They're not afraid to look at, you know, marketing and how to get out there in a big way and be visible and, you know, show up. You know, whether that means making videos or writing newsletters or creating packages and putting them out into the world. You know, it's super important that we're working on all areas, because you have, you know, you have to have this plan in place. And I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but, you know, do you know an airplane readjusts its route 90% of the time? So this airplane, you know, it knows where it's going. So for instance, next week I'm getting on a plane to San Diego. Obviously, we all know we're going to San Diego, but that airplane is going to be readjusting the entire time. And, you know, it's great to have the vision and the mindset of where you want to go. But if you don't have all the pieces in place to get you there, you're not going to be successful, right? If the plane didn't have the maps and the fuel and the support team, you know, and the, you know, all those pieces of it, it wouldn't be successful. And that's the same way it is for your coaching business. You know, you have to have both sides of the coin in order to really see success. And again, that's why for me, it was so important that I really had my roadmap to success. And I invested my time and my money because I wanted to make sure that I had a really strong foundation. And I really, really take a stand for that with my clients. You know, I really take a stand for being really clear about your business, building a strong foundation, and then getting into action. You know, it's like, okay, great. We can have the strongest foundation. We can have the best, most awesome business plans. But if we never get out into the world, what's it worth? Like, what was all that time and energy for? It was a waste, right? And the opposite can be true. You know, we could just show up in the world and we're fabulous and this is what we do. But if we don't have the system and structures and the mindset behind it, it's never going to connect. And so, you know, it's really important that we have all pieces of our business in place. And so again, I do want to share with you a little bit about this new program that I'm launching today. The sales page goes live today. And the reality of it is that I know so many people out there don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to invest in their business. And, you know, unfortunately, that's not fair, because somebody has something they need to share with the world, and their, you know, money is stopping them from being able to do it because they're not going to be able to get the mentoring and the coaching that they so desire. You know, and for me, I work with my private clients and they pay me anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, which, you know, a lot of you on the phone may be like kind of gulping at that price. And it's not to say that at some point in time you wouldn't want to get private coaching, but I really wanted to come up with a program that could help new and aspiring coaches. So coaches that either haven't launched their coaching business or maybe have launched it but aren't really seeing the results or the money that they really desire. And so I wanted to launch something that was not only cost effective or affordable, but was also time. You know, this isn't a 6-month course or a year-long course. It's 6 weeks. And it's really going to help you set that strong foundation to your business. And so, like I said, it's called the Elite Coaching Crash Course, because I really want to work with a small, elite group of women that are action takers and really want to make big things happen. You know, I've really, like I said, I've been in a couple different group programs, and I used to not think that I was such a fan of group programs, but I've really seen the magic that happens in a group program, because not only are you learning from me as I'm doing my teaching, but you're also able to learn from each other. Not only as I'm coaching somebody else are you probably going to learn something, but then it's also the camaraderie that you're going to build with your fellow sisters in the group. And so I want to tell you just a little bit about the program. I'm actually going to put, for those of you that are at a computer, I'm going to put the sales page link in the chat, so you can go over there and check it out as I'm going through it. It's a long, long title. So it's carrieshepherd.com/elite-coaching-crash-course-6-weeks. I don't know why we didn't make that a little easier, but anyhow, so again, it is a 6-week group coaching program. And in the program, you're going to learn exactly who it is you're meant to serve. So we're going to get really clear on that target market, really hone in on the specific person that you are meant to serve. We're going to create that package that is going to sell to them. So we're going to create your first or maybe your next package that's really hot and that you can sell. We're going to talk about how to market your business, how to build a list, all the systems and structures that are needed, including the programs that you need, how often you should be sending a newsletter, what should be in the newsletter, all that kind of stuff. We're also going to be talking about how to market your business, and not only how to market it, but how to do it in a super authentic and fun way that's going to attract your ideal clients. So what's exciting to you? There's no cookie cutter way to market. And so I really want to spend the time with you to figure out what's going to work for you. And then we're going to learn how to have sales conversations, sales conversations that convert easily into sales. I have a structure that I teach my private clients, and I'm going to be sharing and teaching you how to have those sales conversations, really taking you through. We're going to be able to do role playing. We're going to be able to ask me questions on how to handle objections, all that kind of fun stuff. And I really hope that after the 6 weeks that you're going to walk away loving sales, because sales is how you get business. It's the vehicle to getting a client to say yes and getting them to step into the transformation that they want in their life or their business, whatever kind of coaching that you're doing. And then next, we're going to really be talking about the systems and the structures and the support that you need in your business. So I'm going to be really sharing with you what I have found to be helpful. What are the things that are must-haves in your business? And even going into how to get organized and how to structure your day and, different ways that you can structure your week. For me, I work with my clients 3 weeks of the month, and then my last week of the month is Flex Week. So that's a week that I take off for traveling or family fun, or if I'm launching something, that might be creation or implementation week. So, those are some of the structures that I want to share with you. How do you want your life to be, and then let's structure your business around that rather than the opposite, which I think so many people tend to do. So just to tell you what you're going to get in this 6-week program, you're going to get 6 weeks of live coaching calls. So you're going to be getting, each week we'll have a live call. We're going to be meeting on Zoom just like this, where I'll train you for about 45 to 60 minutes on a specific topic. And then the next 30 to 45 minutes will be all for you. You can ask me any questions about that week's information or where you're at in your business. You basically are going to get laser coaching from me on the spot. And like I said, it's super important that I do keep this group pretty small so that I can make sure and serve everybody that's live on the call that has a question for me. The calls will also be recorded, so if you're not able to make the call, you won't be missing out. I'll be sending out the recordings after each week, and then also it's a great way for you to go back and re-listen to the information. I always think it's good to listen to things 2 or 3 times to really let it soak in. You're also going to be receiving a weekly roadmap, and this roadmap is going to be full of templates and lists and accountability forms and action forms. I'm really going to be opening the doors to the behind the scenes of my coaching business. What are the tools that I use for my clients? They're going to be super easy to follow. Again, I'm all about action. They may not be perfect. And it's really just going to be exclusive content that, again, I normally only share with my high-level private clients. So step by step, what do you need to do to get out of, preparation mode or planning mode into action and into launch mode. We're also going to have a private members only Facebook group. So again, this is going to be just for the women that are in the Elite Coaching Crash Course. And it's going to be a space where you all can connect and support each other. It's a great place to meet friends. I mean, I have some of the best friends all around the world that I met because of my group coaching program last year. And then I'll also be involved in the Facebook group. So in addition to the weekly calls, you'll also be able to connect with me on Facebook, and I'll be able to answer your questions. You can share, screenshots of things in there. And it's just going to be a really great way for us to build those really crucial relationships for building a successful business. And you're also going to receive a resource guide, which is going to be the exact products, programs, and systems that I use in my business. It's going to be all in like I think it's 2 pages. And this is going to really help you so that you don't have to spend the time, doing the research and doing the testing and figuring out which, MailChimp program to use, or, what to use to do videos, or what to use for your microphone, or just all the pieces that I can think of. And, as we're going along in the program, if there's additional resources that y'all are interested in, I would be happy to update the resource guide with any of those materials as well. So it's definitely a work in progress, and I'm always adding to it as I start using new programs as well. And then you're also going to receive an orientation kit. So right when you sign up, you're going to get an orientation kit. And this is going to help you get settled for the group, because we actually aren't going to start this group coaching program for about 3 weeks. And so this kit's going to really help you create some space. It's going to help you get organized, and it's going to start to work on the mindset of a successful woman. So I've got a couple really awesome exercises in there. I just finished creating it this weekend, and I'm really excited about it for you. And so that would be coming to your email box as soon as you register, and it's basically like your pre-work for our sessions together. And then last but not least, I have a super hot bonus for the first 10 women that sign up for this course. The first 10 women that sign up are going to receive a 1-hour private coaching session with me that can be used anytime throughout the course. So, if you want to use it straight away where we can kind of start building and getting that clarity, that's awesome. If you want to wait until a little bit later in the program when you've got some clarity, you've got that target market, maybe you want to really dive into a package or a program, maybe you need some mindset work and we need to work on that. Maybe it's the sales conversations that you'd like some, really in-depth coaching on. These are going to be great for that. And my private time for an hour of coaching is $500. And I'm just going to tell you the price of the program just now. And this coaching session is valued at more than the 6-week telecourse even costs. So if you're at all thinking about that this would be a good fit for you and your business, I really recommend that you hop on over and get registered straight away, because I know those 10 sessions are going to go super fast. So the price of the program, which you're probably wondering, is $397. That's it. Not a month, not a week, $397. I really debated over what to charge for this program, because I absolutely know I could charge several $1,000s and it would be worth every single penny. But I wanted to make this first group coaching program a really, really special group of women. And I really wanted to be able to make this a no-brainer for you. So I wanted to make it super easy, super affordable. And I'm even offering a 2 payment plan. So you can do $397 pay in full, or you can do 2 payments of $225. And so again, if you're one of the first 10 women, you're going to receive the 1-hour private coaching session with me, which is valued at $500. So, even if you were not to use any of the 6-week telecourse, even if you weren't to use any of the guidebooks or kits or roadmaps that I give you, you would have already received more value in just that 1 hour than the whole program. So again, I don't want the money to be a factor in your decision. This is going to be a really powerful group of women. It's going to be really transformational. And whether you're new or you haven't started yet, maybe you're aspiring, maybe you're in that Poly Perfect Pants place, maybe you're still in the planning phase, maybe you're in the creation mode. This is really going to be the course that's going to jumpstart your success. It's really going to be the place where you can build that strong foundation, get access to myself, which I'm very successful, and have invested the time, money, and effort to be able to share with you how to do exactly what I've done and, make a big place for yourself in this world. So I'm super excited. I didn't even tell you the program launches or starts on April 27th. That's a Monday. All sessions will be on Monday. I'm gonna pick the time based on the women in the group. So if we have some international clients, I want to make sure we may do a rotating time to make sure that everybody can at least join some of the calls. But we'll figure that out once we get everybody there. But it will be on Mondays. And again, if you sign up, as soon as you sign up, you'll be emailed over your orientation kit. And then I'll be creating that Facebook page here pretty soon so that you guys can get in there and start meeting each other and supporting each other, all that kind of stuff. So Again, I just want you to ask yourself, how long have you been wanting to launch your coaching business? How long are you going to wait until it becomes a reality? Because I am ready to work with women that are fast action takers. And I want you to jump in today. I want you to know that you have this support coming. And I am super excited about, supporting you in your coaching business. So I want to answer any questions that you have either on the 3 mistakes, the warrior syndrome, the poly perfect pants, or the coin toss mindset. Any questions that you might have about your coaching business. And then, of course, any questions that you have on this program, I'd be happy to answer now. You can either raise your hand or throw your question in the chat. It looks like Brandy has asked a question. How many women will be in this group? Brandy, I am looking at about 25. So I want it to be around 25, because I really want to be able to give each person in the group really laser coaching each week. I really want to know your business. I want to know your ideal clients. I want to know your packages. And so I think 25 is a really good group number. So that's what we're looking at. Did you have any other questions, Brandy? And again, if you have any questions and you want to raise your hand, feel free to do that as well. Okay, and again, another question is the day. Again, it's going to be starting on April 27th, which is a Monday. And I'll be announcing the time of the calls when we get started. There's 10 spots for that private 1-hour coaching session. So if you are interested, definitely make sure to register as soon as possible, because I will be emailing this out to my entire list either later this afternoon or tomorrow. So, you guys are one of the first to hear about this. So you definitely want to jump on it. CJ asked, will there be any option for continuing any kind of coaching once we completed this course? That's a great question. Of course, I do have private coaching. My focus is really going to be on filling this group right now. And then I am going to have some special offers for the ladies in this group. So whether that be discounts on my private coaching, or I will be launching another longer term group program. And the people in this group will be the first to hear about that as well. And Jenny says, will you have a recording of today's call? Yes, I will, Jenny. I'll be sending that out either later this afternoon or first thing tomorrow morning. You'll be getting that recording. Okay. So if you are a Poly Perfect Pants, let's see. Randy says, so if you are a Poly Perfect Pants, what are some steps to get out of that mindset? Yeah, that's a great question, Brandy. So, getting out of Poly Perfect Pants is really first identifying that you have that syndrome. So first knowing that that's where you're at and that's what's stopping you. And then I think it's really about connecting to what your vision is, or connecting back to what your desires are. Because if you can see what it is that you want, then you're not going to let being in perfection mode stop you, right? So it's really easy to kind of see the step in front of you. So you see that website, or you see whatever it is that's holding you back. But if you can really expand your vision and start really focusing on the bigger picture, focus on what you're, why you're doing what you're doing. And that's a big place that I start with my clients is, why do you even want a coaching business? Why do you even want to launch that website? So, I think just, again, focusing on the bigger vision, really being clear about where you are letting Poly Perfect Pants hold you back. And that's why I suggest you do that exercise and really kind of spend some time figuring out, first of all, where it's holding you back, and then really digging into why you're allowing that to hold you back. Hopefully that helps. If not, let me know and I can expand on that some more with you. And CJ says, okay, thank you. I truly see the purpose of having a mentor in your business. Well, awesome, CJ. I hope that you're going to be joining us in the Elite Coaching Crash Course. Being one of the very first, you're going to get that hour coaching session. And Brandy, and again, for you, if you're one of those first 10 to join, I would love to, go through, if that's something that you really feel like you need some attention on, we can spend that, figuring out what's holding you back, and maybe getting into even the mindset of why you're allowing that to hold you back from really living the life of your dreams. So, Any other questions about the material today, about your coaching, about the program? I'm going to pop that website in here one more time so you'll have it. A question is this for me if I have already launched my coaching business? That's a great question. Yes, it's absolutely for you if you've already launched your coaching business. This course was designed for new and aspiring coaches. And so, new could be less than a year old, or it could be somebody that maybe has a hobby coaching business. Maybe they work a full-time corporate job, or maybe they've been a full-time mom, or, had some type of other business, and coaching's just been kind of an add-on for a long time, but now they're really ready to treat it like a business. And so, yeah, definitely for you, if you're not where you want to be in your coaching business, if you're not making the money, or if you don't have the clients that you desire yet, absolutely, this is for you. So Tiffany says, great webinar, Carrie, and the program sounds awesome. Thank you for providing this for us new coaches. You are very welcome, Tiffany. I'm so glad you were here today. Okay, just any last minute questions? Oh my, I'm really close to y'all. Let me know. I'm just going to give it a couple more seconds. I don't know that there's a delay, but give y'all one more second. Okay, and then just to remind you guys, you are signed up for a call series, and there are 2 more calls to this series. So we're going to be meeting back here again next Wednesday and the following Wednesday. So hopefully you have that on your calendars. You already signed up for the call, so you don't have to do anything with that. And again, I hope that you sign up for the telecourse. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And again, I'm going to be launching this out to my newsletter list later this afternoon or tomorrow. And so if you want one of those 10 private coaching sessions, definitely make sure you take action today. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. If there's anything that I can answer for you, I'm happy to do that. So I guess I'll let you guys get back to your day. And I really appreciate you spending this time with me. I really am so excited to support you in your business, however that's going to happen. And, just go out there. We're made to make a big difference. And I'm really excited to be on this journey with you. So have a beautiful day. Bye for now.